Hello YouTube, this is Miniprepper. I am back after a short vacation from YouTube. I wanted to make this video today just to touch base with you and to let you know that I am still here, not going anywhere. We've had a very wet and dreary winter here in southeast Texas. Almost every day we've had rain of some sort or some kind of precipitation or storm, and a lot of the outside of our home or our area around our house has suffered as a result. I think I've lost 2 fruit trees because of the rain and the wetness, and it's just been really, really bad for the grass as well. So our lake is also looking really muddy for a variety of reasons, but that's another video. I did want to talk about the fire today. The fire is located in an area, and you'll hear this on the national news. It's located in an industrial area adjacent to the Houston metroplex called Pasadena. Now, the plant is not located in Pasadena proper. It's located in an area called LaPorte, next to an area called Deer Park. And I will explain to you guys how these communities kind of mesh together, and you can drive from one community to the other really without any break in businesses or not know that you're moving from one area to another. In fact, the San Jacinto battleground, where Sam Houston had his final confrontation with Santa Anna for Mexican independence, is almost in the center of all these manufacturing or chemical refinery plants. So to understand the nature of the fire and the proximity of these professional communities around it is to know how serious this was. The plant that caught fire, or the storage areas that caught fire, were owned by or operated by the Intercontinental Terminal Company, and they're out of LaPorte. And they issued a statement today that as of 3 a.m., the firefighting crews on the scene of the ITC tank farm fire are reporting that all tank fires have been extinguished. Crews continue to spray foam and water on the tanks to facilitate cooling and prevent reigniting of the remaining material. Although all fires have been extinguished at this time, steam and smoke may still be visible from the area, and the possibility for reigniting still exists. No serious injuries have been reported as a result of this incident. Air monitoring continues, and as of this update, readings are currently well below hazardous levels. If you believe you are suffering health symptoms from this fire, please see a healthcare provider for evaluation, and they say a little bit more. I want to read you a list of some of the ingredients, some of the chemicals that were in the tanks. ITC officials say the first tank that caught fire Sunday contained naphtha. The fire then spread to a second tank with xylene. Both are gasoline components. Naphtha can cause irritation to eyes and the respiratory system. It affects the central nervous system and is harmful and even fatal if it's swallowed. Xylene may also be fatal if it is swallowed and enters the airway. It can cause skin irritation. Another tank that caught fire early Monday morning contained toluene, which is used in nail polish remover, glue, and paint thinner, plant officials told Eyewitness 13 News. And I'm reading this from their website. So toluene is used in nail polish remover. It's used in printing operations, manufacturing facilities, construction sites. So chemicals kind of make our world go round. And to work at one of the chemical refinery plants down in the Pasadena area is, if you are a professional, it's a fairly lucrative profession, and many people want to live in close proximity to their work and their jobs. So you have many of these little professional, nice communities that are scattered all around that area. And when these tanks caught fire, it wasn't a first for that area. It's been happening. There's occasionally an explosion or a fire there. We have a friend who was a safety worker for a company called Solvay, and he worked in that area. And safety is a big deal because you can have a lot of deaths occur as not as a result of not following safety precautions. So this plume of smoke of these toxic chemicals went up into the air, and we live about 100 miles away from Pasadena. It came over our area according to radar, and I'm going to show you guys a little bit of the radar plume coverage area. Went up into the atmosphere and is being diffused in the atmosphere. So the more it diffuses, the less I would say it would be toxic. But eventually it's going to come down into the ecosphere, and it's going to land on the ground or in the water. So not a good thing for us as people who live in the I would say general area, and definitely not a good thing for the people who live in the Pasadena or greater Houston area, because they're very, very close to it. So from a prepper's point of view, I would like to say that it would be great to believe that the officials had your best interests at heart and that they were telling you the truth about everything being fine, everything being great. But as you and I know, the past and history has proved that that's not always the case. So from a prepper's point of view, I would say that I would be prepared if I had to live in that area to bug out and get out of that area for a reasonable amount of time. And what that means is having an adequate supply of cash on hand, or having supplies, a vehicle that was prepared to, get you out of the danger zone to a place where you and your family could breathe easily. And I'm not joking about that. The pollen in this area in the springtime is horrendous, as you can probably tell from my voice. You don't want to add toluene and naphtha to the mix. You don't want to add black smoke or particulates or things falling down out of the sky to the mix. So even if it's not toxic, if you have any kind of respiratory issue at all, if you're sick at all, you're going to want to get out of that area. So I hope this is a reminder to people about how quickly things can happen and how we need to be prepared to get out or to hunker down to the best of our ability so that we don't suffer from somebody else's mistake. And folks, that's what this was. It was someone else's mistake. And preppers know that this kind of thing happens. So this is just one small, tiny little thing that can happen that can affect an entire city. If people knew, I think if people really knew how dangerous the situation was, there would have been a high degree of panic, which from a management standpoint of a city or cities is not a good thing. You don't want panic, but still you want people to know the truth. And the truth is that when you have a chemical fire, or you have a situation where you have a bomb or a storm or anything like that, you want people to be able to have the facts so that they can make reasonable decisions regarding their safety. I know I would like that courtesy extended to me, and so would the people who are dealing with the aftermath of this fire. Bad things happen. So you just have to figure out what you're going to do about it to survive an incident like this in your own area. This is Mini Prepper, and I'm out.